Number two, probe the population. Probe the population. What are the things that you look for when you start investigating? All right, so you're clear on the why, and now we start investigating, right, where are we going to go? What type of location are we looking for? The suburb close by? Are you considering distance? What are the things that go into mind when you do this?
Well, first and foremost, you need to look at your team, which we'll go into a little later on with some more detail. We need to look at the, how are you going to do it? But some of the key things I look at before is the population. Well, sometimes I look at rural areas, a minimum of 10,000 people, and they must be at least 30 minutes away from a current location within our organisation. So we're not on top of each other and poaching each other's students. And if you're in Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane or Newcastle or area Perth even, you need to be at least 30 minutes away, which could only be six or so kilometres drive, depending on the traffic in the area and public transportation. So I look at the minimum I look at is 10,000 people, and I look at 1%, about 1.5%, that's 150 students. So if I set up in an area, 10,000 people, I will have 150 students there in due course, and that's the way we set it up. I also look at the area, can they accommodate my fee schedule? Are they able to successfully afford it? Are you putting yourself in a high-low socioeconomic area? Are you putting yourself in an area where people have too much income and not enough time? So you need to weigh a few factors up, such as that. You need to look at the average income, and some of the other ones is, is in a town where there's a lot of activity, other sporting activities. What facilities are available? Do people fly in, fly out for work? Do they live there and work in the city an hour's drive away or half an hour away? What time are they going to get home? Wouldn't they be able to come and train and all that? So there's a lot of little factors, but I think we're going to explore that a little bit further. Yeah. That's pretty much an overview of when I'm probing the population, key points I look for. One of the most important things is the accessibility for yourself to get there and back, or your team to get there and back, or on a regular basis. It's not just a one-off trip.
Perfect. And so let's look at the downside, right? And I know we're going to dive deep into this, but just for some context, what is like the red flag that, all right, this is a no-go zone?
From my experience is that, you need to have a look at the area, the suburb or the town you're going to, or the city, and you get pretty much a feel for it. It comes with experience, but I look for things like, okay, is it, high unemployment in the area? Is there not many industries? Is it just a town that's, where people live but they work in the city? There's a lot of little things that just comes. The availability of facilities too, is there an area where you can actually get a full-time setup? So, and where is that setup? And then there's all everything within that. So if you're on a main thoroughfare, like the slide that George has got up now, you don't want to be too far in. You only want to have 3 turns away from a main thoroughfare, so you're not buried in some industrial area and you've got to spend a fortune on promotion and advertising so people can just find you. So after a couple of years, you become a destination location, but in the first setup, it's better off spending more money on a facility that's closer to a main thoroughfare or a rail system or bus route. Depends where you live.
All right, perfect. So no more than 1, 2, 3 turns.
Yeah.
Through a thoroughfare. All right. If you have any questions relating to any of these, just bring them on. Ross got your question. We're actually going to cover this in a slide in a few minutes. But if there's anything that comes to mind, just pop it in while it's fresh in the mind and we can go over that. All right, perfect.